And we are live. I thought we weren't going to go live. I thought my connection was not working. But thank God we're live. We're live and we're alive. Here I am on the new normal. And it's sunny outside, but that's not where I am because I'm in lockdown like you. I haven't even been out for my walk today because I haven't had time. I've been on back-to-back Zoom calls, but I did do my exercise class this morning. I say exercise, it's really dance. I need a marker of progress to make meaning of time. I don't know if that's what you need. I'm not telling you you need that. I'm not giving you advice. No unsolicited advice on the new normal for what everyone else must do. Everyone must do their own thing. But that's what I need. And also, I need a Diet Coke because, as you know, the new normal is sponsored by Diet Coke. They don't know that. But I'm hoping they're going to see it and offer me £10,000, which is what I'd like, because that means nothing to Diet Coke. I've spent £10,000 on Diet Coke in my time, for sure. And if I haven't, I will before I die. So, frankly, Diet Coke, it's an investment I would like to withdraw. I'd like to use it as a savings account. Now, today on the new normal, now we've got a few people on. Today on the new normal, my guest is literally Samantha Baines. Let me bring her in. Here we are. Go live with, yes, please. 5, 4, 3. Didn't say 2 or 1 because I was hoping that, like telly. Hey!
Hi.
There she is. It's literally Samantha Baines.
It's literally me. I would also like £10,000 from Diet Coke, please, if they're watching.
Look, they're not going to sponsor everyone in town. Get your own. Go after Kellogg's. Go after.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's brainstorm. McDonald's, they're not open at the moment. They won't sponsor anybody. Who is making shed loads of money in quarantine?
Chocolate company, alcohol companies.
Okay, booze. Will you please?
Malibu.
Booze.
Malibu.
Okay, so you could have Malibu as a sponsor and I can have Diet Coke. And if we were able to get together in the same room, we'd have a lovely cocktail. But sadly, that will never be again because we're locked up like Rapunzel for 1,000,000 years.
Someone suggested toilet paper, actually. That's a good option. Maybe I should be sponsored.
But no, because why are they advertising? No one can buy any. Like, you don't.
Back now.
Oh, it's back. Loo paper, now back. I'm bringing sexy back. And loo paper. Apparently Bobby's going live from Queer Eye, and we're going to lose so many viewers to that. Don't fucking go and watch Bobby from Queer Eye Gang. He has enough viewers. We've literally lost 3 people. Oh no, we've got one of them back. Maybe they just
Come
fell
back.
out. I think I told them. I told them. I chased them away. Come back, Bobby. You can see Bobby from Queer Eye anytime. He's all over Netflix. You don't need to watch him now.
This is special.
Special. Samantha Baines, how the hell are you? That's our opening question.
I am okay.
Just okay?
Well, I'm actually really glad that we're doing this because you made me put makeup on. I'm wearing a bra. I'm wearing like clothes that make me feel happy. I went out in the sun today. So I feel okay.
I always want to put on makeup for this now because a child didn't recognise me and thought I was impersonating Deborah Francis White. Yes, true story on FaceTime. I told it yesterday, but that's what happened. So now I'm like, fuck it, I'm putting on makeup for any call. I'm sorry, I don't want to be mistaken for somebody, for a whole other human being. Well, however, and in real life, I might not wear makeup, but there's something about quarantine. It's doing something to my skin and my demeanour and I feel like my hair is a bit feral because I never have a blow dry or anything anymore, and it's just a bit. I'm just washing it and leaving it. I'm not good at my own hair. You've got that lovely beachy natural, but when I do beachy natural, it just looks like I've slept in it. So I'm trying to do that. But today I was on a Zoom call, so I didn't get a chance.
Well, I leave my hair like this because if I try and do anything else with it, it just resists. It's like, no, I will not be straightened. I will not be brushed. I will not be hair dried. So this is the only thing I can do is just scrunch it a bit and leave it natural. But one thing I forgot to tell you is during Magic Mike one night.
And can I just say, viewers, Samantha Baines was the long-time MC for Magic Mike the musical in the West End, which was a fucking phenomenal show. If you didn't see it, hopefully you'll get to see it. We're out of quarantine. I mean, maybe leave it a bit because they do full lap dances, But it's a very sweaty show. Thank God that I got a pre-corona series of lap dancers from a series of Magic Mike sexy dancers. Sorry, continue, Samantha. I just needed to fill them in.
You did. I sent them over to you. We had a lovely time. This is my cat Albert, by the way. He likes attention.
Hello, Albert. This is Toast. Toasty.
Hi, Toast. Albert, look.
Oh, okay. We're going to do this. All right. I'll turn it round then. Oh, God. That's a bad angle from me. Don't ever. Okay. Toasty.
Albert.
Albert and Toast. Oh, my God. Albert and Toast are live on Instagram Live. Can someone get a screenshot of this? I don't dare do it because I might kill it.
Albert doesn't really care. I'm sorry, Toast.
Albert is not interested. Really? A cat isn't interested in being sociable? Cats are natural quarantiners. They're natural. They love a lockdown, a cat.
Anyway, sorry. What I was going to tell you was
nature.
One night during Magic Mike, someone, one of the audience members came up to me during the show and said, "Oh my God, I love your podcast." And I thought, oh, I haven't done a podcast for quite a while, but I'm probably still on iTunes. Great. And she said, yeah, God, I'm a guilty feminist too. And she thought I was you. And I'd done the whole show. So like I've been talking the whole time. Channing had been calling me Samantha. And I was like, I had to say to her, thank you so much, but I'm not Deborah Francis' wife.
That is so funny. I kind of see why she thought that though. Firstly, you had what I found was a very flattering homage joke at the top where you had an I'm a feminist part, which I was so thrilled that ended up in Magic Mike, the West End. Like, I felt very thrilled by that. So she might have just heard that, taken it. And to be honest, we don't look dissimilar. We both got this length, dark hair. We both, I think, a sort of similar kind of shape. I don't have as big tits as you, but in this, to be fair, I'm in my I'm a feminist part t-shirt and it's a bit small, this one. So it makes me look like I've got bigger tits than I have.
I think you have a lovely bosom.
I appreciate that very much. And I will take all of that. Normally I'd go, don't be silly, but in quarantine, I will take all the validation I can and say, thank you. Yes, I agree. I'm learning to take a compliment because if I don't suck it in, there won't be another one. I'm slightly delighted that anybody, first of all, thought I was in Magic Mike because I think it was so cool, that show. It was so much fun. And I'm also delighted that we're sort of sisters in that way, that we can be mistaken for each other.
I love it.
Yeah.
I might go out in I feel like I need to get some glasses and like a black fitted blazer, maybe Vivienne Westwood.
Nice. Come around and borrow one.
Pretend I'm you in Soho.
I'm all up for that. We'll go out dressed as each other. I'll get one of those big chunky necklaces that says Baines.
Yes.
We'll do a swap night. See if anyone notices. We'll go out. I mean, it's good because you get to be a little bit of someone else. Because I think you're a little bit more than I am.
Oh, what does that mean?
No.
Razzle
like dazzle. Do a body roll. That's what I'm suggesting. Yeah. Little bit, yeah, there you go. And you did all that dancing as well. And I've just started learning dancing from Melissa, who has a feminist dance class, but she's been teaching me stuff just because I need to see progression. I was just talking about this before, I think, that I need to see progress as a measure of time passing. And also for a long time, I've wanted to get into my own body more for the stage and just for myself as a human being. And I've never had the time to have a class at the same time every day. I'm all over the shop. So the idea is a real luxury, and it also gets me out of bed because I know someone's on Zoom. If I have it in the morning, I've got to get up, I've got to get into clothes, I've got to dance for an hour. Sometimes I do PT as well, and then I go and have a shower, and then I get dressed, and then my day has begun. So I'm doing that, and I'm really enjoying it. And when you do it every day, you get better really quickly. You see a lot of, better is a relative measure. No one's seeing it. I'm not posting it. But I'm just doing it for myself. I don't want to monetize it. I don't want to post it. Nothing. I just want to do it. And I'm really enjoying it. But Melissa's such a great teacher. But it made me think when I saw you doing all that choreography in Magic Mike, I was like, oh my God, how did she learn to do all of this? But actually, when you do it every day, it does go into your body, doesn't it?
Oh my God. The first time I saw the dance and on Magic Mike, we had a choreographer who's this Alison Falk. She's incredible. She's like choreographed Britney.
Oh my God, you worked with a Britney choreographer. I'm so in love with that.
And obviously I was surrounded by loads of professional dancers, and I am not a professional dancer in any way. So
Sure,
it
but
was really scary when I first saw the
I bet I would have
choreography.
been
And I thought,
terrified.
yeah, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to do this in a room in front of people who are used to like
Not a
professionals
room,
picking
babe,
it
in a
up.
massive, great big fuck off theatre with
Well, in
balconies and.
rehearsals, even, I was scared of doing it in front of the other dancers.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that is intimidating. That's more
But,
intimidating than the audience, because the audience there for a good time. They're going, woo! They're not going, was that
she, a
a
professional.
plie, or was that really just you bending your knees? They're not doing that.
No, and I think by the time we got to the show, I was really confident with it. But I remember the first time we did it, and I was at the front of a group of, 15 professional male dancers
All
in
buff
front
as
of
fuck.
Britney's choreographer, Channing Tatum, and I had to do a dance. I was like so scared. But actually, and what Channing said to me is, it's not about the moves, it's about you having a good time and making it your own. And actually, yeah, it's the first time I've ever danced on stage, and actually it ended up being one of my favorite bits of the show. Like after a year and a half, I used to love. I mean, it was difficult on days where I'd had like a curry the night before, or
Mm.
I felt a bit ill. There are definitely a couple of bum clench moments where I thought I might shit myself on stage, but I didn't, and so that's
What a
something.
happy end to that story.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you're just throwing in what Channing said to me about dancing was really about your essence. And I agreed with him, in the end. At first, I was nervous to dance in front of, and in fact, with at times Channing.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of times after the show, Channing would come back to my place and we'd do the horizontal hustle. Oh, good
No,
times. Good
alas, no.
times.
He
Alas,
likes to
no
be called
horizontal hustle.
Chan. Chan.
Chan.
Yeah.
To Chan Man.
But I thought if I said that, it would sound too like just me and Chan.
Yeah. Just as Chan said to me, just before he did a death drop. Yeah, it feels like a fun show to be part of. Do you think, because you got that casting, and we are often mistaken for each other, we're basically twins. It's happened once, but
Sure.
it's happened once, but let's pretend it happens all the time and we're twins.
Yeah.
Do you think I would be allowed to have that job? Do you think I could go up for that after I've done my quarantine dance with Melissa? I could sort of show them, like I can move and I can learn choreography. Do you think I'd be allowed? Thing is, I can't do it for 18 months. I want to do cover. I want to do like, sometimes they have a 6-week cover. Am I allowed to do that? Probably not.
Well, you have to be there every day. So you'd have to be there 5 days a week, even if you're not on. So I would share the role with another girl called Sophie Linda Lee, who then went on maternity leave, and she's back now. So she's still doing it. And but
God, imagine going between breastfeeding and Magic Mike.
She pumps in the dressing room and then goes and does Magic Mike.
She's not the only one.
I'm more this sort of pumping than the actual breast milk, but yeah.
I so want your job. I mean, I want to do it 6. I will happily go it every day, but I want a 6-week run. Magic Mike, if you're watching, when we come out of quarantine, if you're looking for somebody to learn all of the moves while in quarantine with Melissa, and then come straight back out and go in bang for 6 weeks, just so that I've had that experience, because I know I can't do it for 18 months, but my God, I'd love to do it for a short period of time. I know that's you can't do that, but that's what I want. And sometimes they do have cover. So if you're watching, my phone is not ringing 24/7 at the moment. I mean, I do Instagram Live just to see it, so it's still working. Oh, Chan, if Chan's watching, he probably is, because he's Sam and Chan, best friends.
I'll call him.
If you could WhatsApp Chan.
Be like, let Deborah in. Do you know what the best bit of it is? When you first get the job, and obviously you work with Channing because he directs the show, which is incredible because he's an actor, and he so he like gets the process a bit more. So he's really a generous director. But the best bit is when he records his voiceover for the beginning of the show, where he says, "Hello, Samantha." And it's just, when I heard it on its own, just that, I was like, I want to take that voice recording and just keep it forever and have it just to cheer me up. Surely
you did record that, so you have got it.
I don't think I did.
Why?
I got so
Why?
used to it, I
Well,
think.
that's going to be your greatest regret.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sure I can contact them and they'll send it to me.
do you miss it to go from Magic Mike? Because you were nearly at the end of the run. You didn't get your big last night, did you? You didn't get your closure. You didn't get the boys sort of throwing you up in the air and covering you with whatever they cover you with. That sounds rude now, but you know what I mean. I mean, like, last night, dressing room.
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking, but it did sound like a horrible innuendo, and I apologise for it.
That's okay.
They didn't get a chance to play the biscuit game on you. No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. This is a family show. For God's sake, Samantha, you've lowered the tone.
Sorry. No, I didn't get mine last night. So the show, I did the show on the Sunday, and I was meant to have another week, and then the next Sunday would be my last show. So I did the show on the Sunday when things were kicking off virus-wise, but we didn't know if we'd definitely be closing. And then we had Monday and Tuesday off, and then we found out that we weren't going to be on Wednesday. So I didn't know my last show was my last show.
Oh, what a gutting thing. So you couldn't really go for it in that way that you do when you've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, but then in a way it's quite nice because like I just did my job like I'd been doing every night, and it was like a lovely audience and it was normal and nice. And then I think sometimes your last show can be a bit of a write-off because yeah, everyone's really energetic and there's loads of energy, and your family are in, and you're probably a bit emotional and you forget bits. So
I wanted to come and see you again. Remember I said we're definitely, Susie and I are coming again. I know Susie's not watching this because she's DMing me and it's popping up. But Susie Bacoma, who's done this show, she came with me, and a friend of mine called Wesley from New York. And we came as a little posse. And Wesley went back to New York, but Susie and I were going to come again. My very, very brilliant right-hand woman, Gina, who also might be watching, came as well. And we had a frankly riotous time. I mean, partly because you wrangled us a table up the front and kept sending them over for lap dancers, and Wesley knew somebody in it as well, so he got some kind of, lap dance.
And we got you on stage, didn't we?
I did audience participation. I was like, oh my God, people are going to video this and be like, oh my God, did you see the guilty feminist feeling up a man on stage? Because he put his hands on my hands on his bum. He put my hands on his bum. And I was like, is this okay with you? Do you consent to this? And he was like, yes, it's my job. And Wes has a funny video of me. He said, it's the funniest. He said, I'm videoing you asking a man who is a dancer who is in a show about stripping about consent. You were having a serious conversation about consent while on stage during the audience participation.
I like that. We do talk about consent as well in the show.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you probably don't remember because you were having a very nice time.
You know, it's not the main thing I took away from it. Do you know my favourite bit of Magic Mike? The consent chat. No, I think you do. You talk to the audience about not grabbing the men. But
I say permission goes both ways, and remember these guys are human beings, not toys.
That's right. What do you do if they come up to give you a lap dance and you don't want it? Can you just say no, thank you, or
there's a safe word, unicorn.
I don't remember that.
Just say no, thank you.
I think safe word's funner because no feels a bit damp squibby. But if you go unicorn, it's sort of like a fun word, and you're like playing. It's sort of a card you can play in a game, and it's a good thing. I did a scavenger hunt for some children on Easter Monday. Just some kids of my godchildren and nieces and nephews and stuff on Zoom, where they had to do things like they had an hour and they had to sort of come back with like a video where they'd recreated a scene from their favorite movie and a picture of the Easter monster and things like that. So it wasn't just, some of it was collecting things around the house, but most of it was stuff they had to make or create. And then we sort of shared amongst the group, and there's certificates awarded for best this or most creative that or whatever, and little prizes and stuff, just because they're having a bit of a crappy old, their summer's going to be no visiting of friends, their children. So we sort of thought, like, we don't have kids, we'll do something fun for kids. And I said to Tom, I'm really keen. I know the parents are going to try and take over. I know who these parents are. There's a lot of these parents are in the arts. They're directors, they're writers, they're producers, they're agents. I know full well what is going to happen, that the parents are going to be like, darling, you've got to move on to the next class. There's another 10 minutes. Why don't you get get your Elsa costume because we can recreate that. Well, that's easier. I know what it's going to be. So I made in the rules. These were my rules. I mean, we're not getting on with this show at all, to be honest. I made, these are my rules. You are in charge. The grown-ups work for you. You have to ask the grown-ups they're happy to play, because obviously I didn't want them just tackling their mother to the floor if she was on a Zoom call about to close a deal. But so you have to ask the grown-up. But if the grown-ups are happy to play, then you delegate, you direct, they do what you say. And you, if they try and take over, you say, I'm sorry, thank you very much for your suggestion, but you work for me. And that meant that I had to, you don't have to be a rude boss, but they work for you. You have to be kind, but they work for you. And I gave the parents 2 safe words. I said, your parents have 2 safe words. And I was like, is it okay to have a scavenger hunt for children with safe words? But I had to, because I was like, what if one of them says, well, I'm recreating Superman, I'm going to jump off a roof? So the parents could say red if what they were doing is dangerous, then they had to immediately stop and rethink their strategy. Or yellow if the parents did not consent to something, because one of them was a picture of a grown-up dressed as the Easter Bunny, which that was the favourite one. They were like, oh, great, we get to dress them up. And but I thought, I don't want them not understanding consent. They can't just tackle their dad to the floor, their big sister to the floor and say, you have to dress as the Easter Bunny, she said. They have to consent. So I said, if they don't consent to what you're doing to them or family property, they can say yellow, and then you have to stop. And you have to read the
This is such a feminist scavenger hunt. Like, I just put some eggs under some like leaves and be like,
well, that's an egg hunt. That's different. That's an egg
really thought it through. I love it.
An egg hunt is different. This is a scavenger hunt, and a scavenger hunt is you have to. Well, normally I used to do it with when I was a nanny. We'd go out we go out to Piccadilly Circus with loads of kids, and then there'd be a grown up with like 4 kids, and you'd have an hour to come back with, and you had no money, and you had an hour to come back with like a signed theatre program and a 20p coin with a certain date on it, and an umbrella and a napkin from a certain restaurant and things like that. And it was the team with the most things won. So it's a bit like The Apprentice, but you have no money. You can't negotiate anything. You just have to.
Can we do this after quarantine?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so great for kids, and because they have to go in and front up and go into the ivy and say, and they say, yes, have you 4 bedraggled children and 1 mum hiding outside? Have you got a reservation? Say, no, excuse me, we're doing a scavenger hunt and we really need a napkin from the ivy. And so they have to try and see if they could get one, or find a way. Like, they just have to find a way of doing that.
I love that. I want an
really
adult
good
version. Like, not rude, but like the adults.
One for grown-ups. We'll do that. Listen, I think after this, it's going to be like the Roaring Twenties. We're going to be doing all sorts of things. The people are going to be out connecting, for a little while. We'll be nervous, but
like the 20s, hemlines got lower.
Higher.
Well, the waistline.
The waistlines went. That was because corsets went. That's because women were freed from the corset.
Whereas we're going to be bra free. I don't know if a lot of people are ever going to put a bra back on again.
Do you think bra sales are plummeting? So like tits, basically. Bra sales are going in the same direction as breasts down. I need to ask you some questions.
Sorry.
Because this is the game. No, it's not your fault. I've just been like, just really enjoyed talking to you. So do you have any new I'm a Feminist butts since being in quarantine?
Yes. I'm a feminist, but I'm angry with my ex-husband for getting divorced, just because I'd like someone in the house so they can go shopping for me and then bring back all the food so I don't have to do it myself.
Nice.
Also, I'm a feminist.
Yeah.
I need someone to put up shelves in my bathroom, and I don't want to do it myself because it's through a hollow wall, and it's just been redone, and so I don't want to do my first drilling holes experience on my brand new bathroom.
A wise woman. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Not now, because if it goes wrong and suddenly you're sharing a bathroom wall with a neighbour and then suddenly there's a hole, you really could be in trouble there, because then you have to get somebody in who's not meant to come into your house to fix it. Do you know what? I would buy a set of free form shelves that you can put on the floor for the duration and work it out later.
Well, but I've bought the wall shelves, so they're just sitting one on top of each other in the bathroom.
YouTube, we're all upskilling now because we have to.
Well, I've got a screwdriver and all of that. I just haven't drilled a wall.
Listen, live stream it. We'll love it.
Okay.
Have you got any coping strategies for being emotionally and mentally stable through this time, or not? You don't have to, but has anything helped you?
I mean, I'm not an emotionally stable person anyway. I have.
Who is, darling? Who is? We're comedians.
Who is? Yeah, I have anxiety, and it's generally health anxiety. So now it's a really fun time for me. So I actually realized that I have this thing. So when I'm anxious, I scratch my face. So I've covered them up a bit. I've got some spots here because I literally sit in front of the TV and just scratch my face. And I always thought it was like a tick thing that only I did. And it was just like one of those things. And I was weirdly doing a radio show from home during this whole lockdown with Dr. Zoe off the telly. And she was talking about anxiety. And I just said to her, I do this thing. Am I really weird? And basically she told me that it's an actual, it has a name. It's a very long, fancy name, but it's like physical anxiety. One of them is scratching your face, and another one is like biting the skin around your nails. And I do both.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So I'm very bad at those. So the things I'm doing to try and cope with those are knitting. I love knitting. I've always knitted.
You did great knitting, and it's always on Instagram, your lovely things you knit.
Well, yeah, I started knitting scarves, and then my Instagram followers got in touch and they were like, can I have a scarf? And then I weirdly started a weird scarf business on the side for a while. Sure.
That's great, because you get your anxiety out through the knitting, then you can sell the proceeds.
Yeah. And then
you can't sell no skin around your fingers.
No.
You can sell a scarf and you still have this finger skin.
And it was around Christmas when I was doing the scarves. And so £5 from each scarf, I saved it up. And then I gave it to this homeless guy called Darren, who used to stand nearby the theatre in Leicester Square for Magic Night. I used to talk to him every day. And then so I knitted, with the money, I knitted him a scarf, and then I gave him some cash for...
Oh, that's a lovely story.
Yeah, so knitting. It's doing things with my hands really helps, because then I don't scratch and fiddle, and knitting and lots
that's
of crafting.
The best strategy we've had.
I've also been sticking ribbon to jars.
Nice.
That's a Stanley knife for my collaging. But you know, crafting it where you can.
Love it. Are you surprised by anything? Are you surprised by your own reaction in any way, or your own behaviours, or are you surprised by the human race and the way, or Britain, the way we've behaved?
I don't think I am surprised. I'm saddened that we've had to have so many warnings about like not sunbathing and not meeting up with friends, and I don't think I am surprised, because I think people always do things in their own way, and you know, there are rebels in every cause, and also sometimes people just, you know, aren't educated in the facts for whatever reason. Like they might be
You're cutting in and out a bit. You sound like a bit like you're underwater. You sound like a bit like you're underwater.
Can you hear me again now?
Can anybody else? Yes. Yeah. You're a bit breaking up a bit at times though.
Okay. Yeah, I think sometimes people don't have access to the news for whatever reason, whether that's they don't want to watch it because it makes them anxious, or they're not kind of educating themselves on the facts. So I can understand why people have kind of not done the things that we should all be doing together as a group to make things better. But Yeah, I don't think I'm surprised. I love all the kind of kindness and the nurses doing dances and staying
Mm.
upbeat, and I guess that hasn't surprised me, but that's been
It's
so
delighted you.
heartening, yeah, to see. Hmm.
Any routine that you have, Samantha? Do you have anything that marks your days out? Do you go, I have to have breakfast, or I have to get dressed, or I prefer to do this at this time?
I try to book things in throughout the day. So like today, this at 6 p.m. was like a focus for me. So I was like,
Mm.
okay, I know I've got that, and I've got a call with my friends from I went to secondary school with later tonight. So I've got those things booked in, and then I sort of rearrange everything around it. And I try to get up and have a shower, or I try to do something active most days, whether it's like painting a wall in my house or I have a weighted hula hoop. It's ridiculous.
Ah,
I got it like years ago
that's a fun
online,
one.
and it can hurt a bit at the beginning because it's weighted. It basically like smacks against the fat to break it up. So you can only do it for like 15 minutes because it hurts. But
I don't believe that. That is not science, just to be very clear.
I
That is
think
not
it
science.
is.
Do you ever do the magic Mike dancers or other dancers now, because you've been a dancer now, because you've danced professionally?
Professional dancer. I do the stretches that I used to do in warm up with the boys. Um,
I see. I would get all the tunes on, and I do all of the dances every night to remind myself of my glory. Have
I
you read
did
any
it
good?
for a year and a half though,
You're a
so
bit dumb. I'd,
yeah.
I'd ask for a new routine. I'd go back to the Britney choreographer and be like, I need a new routine to work on in quarantine.
Okay.
Any good books or TV shows? Anything we should be reading, watching that you would recommend? It could be escapist, could be feminist, could be just something that you've enjoyed.
I've just started watching Chernobyl. It's
Nice.
incredible. It's like it was out ages ago and everyone said it was amazing. I never
It
watched it.
was. It is amazing, but it's a bit bleak for right now, in my
It's
opinion.
so bleak. You can only
I
watch one like a week.
Yeah, that's
Um,
too disastery for the moment. I think
well,
I'm admiring.
all the
I'm
good
admi-
stuff is disaster. There's Save Me, that's incredible, and The Nest.
Thing
The
is, I love
Nest
A Handmaid's Tale.
BBC.
I'd love The Handmaid's Tale, but if that came out now, I don't know how I'd cope, because going to the Primrose Hill is like The Handmaid's Tale, because the policemen shout at you to keep walking. Really feel like, I mean, they have a job to do and all of that, but I feel like going up in a red dress with a white hood, so that and a friend socially distanced walking the same way, so when they shout, I can video it.
Heads
Um,
down.
I don't feel like being, yeah, but I know that they've got a job to do, but they, like anybody who literally walks to the top of Primrose Hill and stands there to take a breath and look at the view, which is sort of the point, even though they're miles from anyone else, they go, keep walking. That is an exercise. What exercise are you doing? It's so handmade.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Maybe
uh,
jog on the spot next time.
Jog on the spot. Yes, you could do that, but I think they'd still say keep going. Do you have any pets or relics, costumes, anything you'd like to show us in your house?
I have two cats. I think they've moved, Victoria and Albert. I have,
Oh, yes, you've shown us a pet already.
yeah, I don't have any red. I have a cushion cover I knitted during
Please show
quarantine.
us that.
I can show you
Please
that
show us
one
that.
sec.
Nice.
It's covered in
Love.
cat hair. Little buttons.
Absolutely love it. That's gorgeous. Oh. And do follow Samantha Baines if you want to buy one of her fabulous scarves or any more knitting tips.
Or one of
Um,
my books.
no, oh, what's the book?
Well, this is an old book. I only sell this if people ask for it. But my current children's book is called Harriet versus the Galaxy. And it's about a little girl with a hearing aid, like
Mhm.
me. And her hearing aid translates alien languages and she fights aliens in space with her gran.
Amazing. And it's also got a non-binary character in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, so Harriet's best friend is called Robin and they're non-binary. And it got a lot of,
I
there's a bit of drama when it came out. Because I thought there was going to be more drama about Harriet having a hearing aid and that was going to be kind of the focus. And she comes from a single parent family, so it's just her and her dad, but she's living with her gran because her dad has to work a lot. And I made her best friend non-binary because someone said to me that I had to, because Harriet's a girl and she's the protagonist. Someone said to me I had to have a boy in the book, otherwise boys wouldn't read it. And I was like,
Yeah.
no.
But girls read books about boys all the time.
Yeah,
So
exactly. I was like, my whole
Harry
childhood.
Potter's the worst witch is for girls, but Harry Potter's for everyone.
Yeah, ridiculous. So
Well,
I was
Harry
like,
Potter's a human, and worst witch is a girl character. So
yeah.
it's, I mean, I am parodying that when I say that. Sorry, Samantha, continue.
So so yeah, so I was I said, okay, I'll give her a friend, but I'm not gonna make it a boy. And actually I was really inspired by Jamie Windust at the time.
Oh, I think Jamie's going to come and do the show.
Yeah, so they were campaigning for at the time for to get tick boxes on forms. You know, the gender on forms is always male or female. They were campaigning to get a non-binary
Non-binary.
or just something else.
Third gender.
And yeah, so they really inspired me, and I just thought, I know, I'll make Robin non-binary. And actually, I think kids are so accepting as well, because it's a book for children 6 and up. I think especially when they learn something so young, and I just cover it in like 2 pages of the book, and we had it read by a parent of a non-gender child, non-binary child, and then also a non-binary person to check that, you know, I didn't want to speak for people. I wanted it to make sure that it was,
yeah,
you know,
but you're not a boy, and yet you were asked to write a boy character. So
yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's good to it is so important when, you know, for marginalized groups to be able to represent properly and to check that you've got the language right and you've absolutely got it right. But of course, we all need to be writing more diverse characters.
Yeah, and I wanted it to be, it's like Harriet with her hearing aid. The hearing aid sort of centers the story because it helps her translate alien languages and she's
Right.
protecting Earth. But her hearing loss is kind of explained, and then we move on because it's not an essential part of the story. And Robin's non-binary, but that's not an essential part of their character. You know, that's who they are, and then they go on and fight aliens together. So yeah, it's called Harriet versus the Galaxy, if anyone knows.
Go order it now for a child in your life. Can you tell us a dark thought or low moment you've had during the quarantine? And we ask this every day because people are live streaming their best bits, and it's the most popular question because people go, oh, thank God you said that. Have you had a sort of sad moment or a thought or a like, oh God, or like a crash that you're happy to talk about?
Yeah, I think I've had a few of them. I think the other day, because I'm on my own, um, and I love, you know, having my own house and living on my own normally. So there are times when it's lovely and normal and great. But I think I'd just spoken to like my sister on the phone or something. And then I had this day, I think it was the day before yesterday, and I just felt so alone. And I just thought, when am I going to be able to like have someone hug me? Or I've also got this new podcast called The Divorce Club.
Nice.
Because I'm divorced. And so I'm interviewing people about their divorce experiences to kind of change the conversation about divorce. So I'm going through these quite like emotional conversations with people, like quite regularly at the moment, because it's something to do in quarantine. So it's also stirring up those feelings of like going through my divorce and being on my own. And I think that, coupled with actually physically being on my own and not being able to see anyone, has actually stirred up loads of emotions. So I did have, yeah, a really difficult day where I just felt, I just didn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
And
you just suddenly feel alone. I think being in solitary quarantine alone is like solitary confinement in a weird way, without meaning to minimize anyone's experience in actual solitary confinement, of course, because you can go for a walk and you can reach out and you've got your phone and all those kinds of things. But I worry about my mum because she's completely alone, and my friends who are completely alone, I try and check in on or connect with other friends. And I have a WhatsApp group with 3 friends of mine who are alone, who I just realized they had a lot in common. And I just said, you guys don't know each other, but you've got loads in common. And I just feel like you're all the same sort of being. So is it okay if I have a little WhatsApp group just for the four of us? And they've all hit it off, and we all just, it's a really nice little support group of, I mean, I'm here with Tom, but the three of them are just for what, you know, for different reasons, all happen to be alone. And it really has been nice because I can just sort of see that they're all okay. And I have another friend who is alone, who I try and check in on just to see her face and make sure, because I think sometimes when you WhatsApp somebody, they are they can sort of go, yeah, I'm fine, but they're not actually. And so I'm trying to FaceTime people more. I've got a couple of friends who are alone who I FaceTime, just, you know, my mum I speak to every day, and a couple of people I try and FaceTime every day. And this little WhatsApp group, because they're all kind of, they're all in some way or another lesbians in STEM, and or STEMmy, there's something STEMmy about them.
As in science, technology, engineering.
Yeah. They're STEMmy lesbians, and I just went, why aren't you three best friends?
Love that. Yeah, I think it's so, if you know anyone on their own, like, do just give them a call, because whenever my friends just randomly call me, it's actually really nice.
Really nice,
because
yeah.
you're just on your own all the time. Just in the comments, someone said, is there an independent bookshop they can buy my book from? And I think the Feminist bookshop are still delivering, and they
Great.
have.
And every day we make a story of the things that you recommend, and I do a swipe up to buy it from Blackwell's, because Blackwell's books I'm a fan of, and they are trying to become more like a collective, like John Lewis. I'm trying not to give any more money to Bezos than necessary during this. And I just decided I want to support Blackwell's books.
Okay.
I'm a fan of them, and they are delivering. So
Okay.
you will get a swipe up for Harriet. You get a swipe up story, my friend. Can I ask, do you have a feminist ask? Speaking of swipe up stories, do you have a feminist ask? Anything you would like us to support so that we can do a feminist act today on your behalf?
Yes, so it's a hearing loss related thing. So I have a hearing aid, and I'm an ambassador for Action on Hearing Loss and the British Tinnitus Association, because I have two types of tinnitus as well.
Wow.
And Action on Hearing Loss are really pushing a campaign at the moment to get all the public announcements from the government, so the important announcements about what's going on at the moment with quarantine and lockdown and the virus, to get them BSL interpreted, so British Sign Language, because at the moment the majority of them aren't, and they're not subtitled either because they're live. So that means that the deaf community have a really delayed sort of way of accessing that information, and you know, then need to wait until someone's written it up or it is interpreted. So there's a petition going on that Action on Hearing Loss is sharing, and I'll share the link with you, Deborah, and it's just to sign to say, can those important announcements have a BSL interpreter?
Wonderful. So if you make a story, you just send me through something about this before. If you make a story and @The Guilty Feminist, we will post that story, and we'll get our gang on trying to advocate for that. Yeah, someone's saying, why the hell is that not happening already? I know. The government's also changed their policy on if you have autism, or you have another sort of disability, which means you need to go to the park or go out more than once a day, you can now without breaking the rules. And Ellen Jones, who came on and talked about autism on this show, asked me to tell the audience that. So I'm passing that on, that they've changed their policy. So campaigning does work, asking does work sometimes. What hope do you have for humanity from this? Do you think humanity is going to learn from this? And do you think we'll change because of this? Do you think?
I think we'll definitely change. I think some of the incredible things have been to do, obviously kindness is so important, and I hope that we'll remember everything that the NHS staff and all the key workers, no matter what they, taking the bins out and stocking shelves in supermarkets, all those people who've been undervalued really up until now, and now at the forefront and keeping life going. So I really hope that we'll remember that. and
Yeah.
thankful for it. But also there's nature is sort of like I know that we're in lockdown because of the virus, but we're also giving pollution a rest because we're not out and traveling, and you know, we're not building new houses and cutting down trees. And I saw an amazing article about the in Venice, the water is now clear and you can see fish in it.
That's the stories are coming in of that all over the world. The light pollution, the different sort of levels of pollution, that kind of thing. It's amazing.
And the deer like hanging out in North London in a park. I do
Just
think
hanging out.
there's something in.
I did hear about the rat wars. Did you hear about the rat wars though? In urban areas, the rats, what the rats live on, is us coming up off the tube and somebody popping their sandwich in a bin and somebody else dropping a bit of their Greg's sausage roll, vegan sausage roll on the ground, and that's what the rats live on, and that's not happening anymore. So the rats are having wars and also becoming cannibals. This is the bleaker side of your
Oh my God.
Hello, by the way, hello Flynn Tiefenthal, my godson has just come on and has said hello godmother.
Hi.
Are you still there, Flynn? Hello, thank you for watching my Instagram live. This is called the new normal, Flynn.
And
Flynn's in Jersey at the moment. Yeah, we're talking about rat wars. Flynn, here he is. What does he say? All the monkeys in Bali are fighting because of the lack of tourism. Are they?
Oh.
Fighting for what? Fighting for what, Flynn? They're fighting each other. What? Because they're not getting the normal food they were getting from the tourists and the attention.
They're going rogue.
Flynn will come on soon.
Okay, so I was going for the lovely aspects of nature.
I'm sorry.
I found out about all these fights. Maybe
there's a lot of fights in nature. But that's because we've messed things up in the first place, to be honest. Yeah. Food and each other. They're fighting for food and they're fighting each other. Probably not getting the attention on the food. Yeah. Yeah. Love the rat wars chat. People are loving this. This is some great content. People are saying
the highlight of what we've been talking about.
What's saying? Water is cleaner due to less traffic in Venice waters, but dolphins are fake news. Apparently, people have said they've spotted dolphins. That's fake news. Are there any habits that you think you might take on from this? Might you do more Zoom calls than going out to actual meetings? Might you take on any of the routines from this or any of the other? Is there anything you're doing now in your life that you go, oh, I might still do that? I think mine is house party. That on a Wednesday night, if I can't be asked to go to the pub and I haven't seen my mates for a while who live on the other side of London, so they might as well live in Australia. Frankly, if you're south of the river, when are we going to meet up? Never. I might say, why don't we just do a house party? Why don't we see each other? Like, we'll all do, you know, you can catch up and have a really good laugh with an old bunch of mates for half an hour.
Yeah, I think video calls we've always had it, but it's kind of been a revelation recently. So I think
we didn't get it. We didn't do it properly before. We now have to do it because anyway, we see people's faces anymore.
I think Zoom is great. Also, because I have one-sided hearing loss, I find phone calls quite stressful because I can't see people's mouths to lip read. So stuff like Zoom calls are really good for me because I can see people's faces. So I think definitely work-wise, I'm going to probably do a lot more video calls than traveling into London and for 45-minute meetings, and then I get stuck in London. Then I'm like, what should I do now? So I go shopping and do.
Yeah. I think we will pull back, and the environment will be very pleased. The environment will breathe a little bit. I mean, if we haven't messed it up too far. And finally,
sorry, I'm also meditating. That's good.
Oh, that's good.
Keep it up.
I haven't started that yet. I will probably. I got an app and I didn't use it. Finally, what are you most looking forward to doing? If they said, right, quarantine's off, you can go out now, what would you do first? What are you desperate to do?
Oh, I'm desperate to walk through Soho.
And have people be in it and not make it look like a rat.
The bustle of Soho, because I was there every day because Magic Mike was on in Leicester Square. So just walk through Soho and have the bustle of everyone going about things, and then maybe sit outside somewhere and have a gin and tonic with my friends. In the sun.
Wouldn't it be nice just to sit together and have a drink?
I'll touch them at all times.
Yeah, we'll just sit there touching each other's faces.
Yeah.
Snogging. I think it's going to be a lot more snogging. I think we're going to snog our friends a little bit. I mean, after what, there'll be still a bit of social distancing where we're not sure how close we can get. But once it's like we can really constantly get close, I think there's going to be, sorry, my godson, I think there's going to be a lot more, you know, frankly, roaring 20s parties, read between the lines. Read
And
between the lines of cocaine.
holding
Not for
hands.
me. Not
Even
for
just
me.
holding hands.
Holding hands.
Just leaning on someone.
Just taking a whole heap of MDMA and then holding hands is not something I would advocate or do, godson, but some people might. Samantha Baines, it's been absolutely amazing. I don't know what your t-shirt will be. Every day the merch store makes a t-shirt with a saying, something that you've said in conversation. And then the money, they're print on demand, so there's no waste. So the money will then go to you. The merch store very kindly is giving the profit straight to the artist, because obviously we cannot do gigs anymore. Yeah, money goes to you. So is there anything that you've said that you think, oh, I'd like that on a t-shirt? Anybody noticed hands touching hands? Somebody says, is that rat wars? T-shirt should be something about rat wars. Rat wars.
I don't know if I want people to wear t-shirts saying rat wars.
The great rat wars of 2020.
Yeah.
Anyway, Hannah from the merch store always watches, and she always comes up with a catchphrase. That will then be on a t-shirt in the merch store, and it will be printed up if anyone orders it, and which they obviously will, and then then the profit will go to you.
Everyone's saying rat wars.
Somebody suggests don't want to shit myself on stage. Well, yeah. Do you want to wear that t-shirt though? What about Chan? When Chan said to me, I like that. Chan, when Chan and I were chatting about dancing, when Chan and I did the horizontal.
When Channing said, when I danced in front of Channing.
You've got a nice bosom, someone's suggesting.
Yeah.
Other people are asking for rat wars. I'm a feminist, but I miss having someone to do DIY. The safe word is unicorn. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
What
well,
about
that might be Magic Mike copyrighted.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, we'll let Hannah decide, but she's got lots of suggestions there. If you would like to buy a t-shirt, there's been lots of catchphrases from different days. You can go to guiltyfeminist.com, click on our merch, and you'll see the Stay Home t-shirts. If you'd like to support the Guilty Feminist and the New Normal, then give to our Patreon. If you would like to, also, the Guilty Feminist is out every Monday as normal at noon. And our other guests this week are amazing, and you need to check what they are. Tom, who are our other guests this week? Can you remind me?
Yes.
Thank you. While Tom is checking, anything else you want to plug, Sam?
Please buy my book, Harriet versus the Galaxy. And yeah, I have a new podcast. Trailer came out today, The Divorce Club. And it's to change the conversation around divorce and make it not taboo.
Wonderful. And my producer's just saying into my ear that tomorrow's guest is Juliet Stevenson, the fabulous actress. Yes, truly, madly, deeply, it's Juliet Stevenson. And on Friday, it's Sophie Duker, the wonderful Sophie Duker from Grown Up Land. Another amazing podcast you should all be listening to. So tune in for those. And we've also got some great guests coming up next week. So 6 o'clock UK time, every day, Monday to Friday. See you here. And check out Sam's new podcast about divorce and her children's book. You should send it to every child in your life immediately. Thank you so much, Sam. You have been absolutely wonderful. Thank you for coming on to the New Normal and sharing your quarantine with us. We love you loads. Feminist high fives. Bye.
Bye.